afternoon, everyone. Excuse me. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for February 2nd, 2021, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a TFCC tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on this line. I suggest you bring something to write with. Something that a lot of us, I don't think, identify with. I don't think we believe it's in us, but for us to make peace with our dark side, to make peace with your dark side. Be gentle with any part of yourself that appears to be negative, unlovable, or unworthy. Allow each part to be felt, seen, and rise to the surface. It is okay if your darkness is received by others, because guess what? They have that exact same dark part too. They may not always see it, yet we all have the exact same dark parts inside us. It's just that some people have done a bit of healing work, and so they're holding their darkness a bit closer to their brilliant heart. So hold your darkness closer to your heart today and watch how fast it magically disappears too. So let your amazing light shine. A lot of times we talk about healing. And there are steps to healing ourselves. Turn within and you will become free and liberated because it's all a dream. Robert Adams. When we are healed, it is easier to manifest what we want. There is less resistance to life, less fear, less ambition, and things just naturally come our way. When we invest time to find deep mental, emotional, and physical healing, we find that a higher spiritual understanding soon follows. The simple intention to have deep peace with our past can lead to such a liberating, transcendental experience. When you're 100% at peace with your past, you've just liberated the tight, confining restraints, the struggle ego has on you in your life. It's tricky to see for any of us. Yet the ego is always in charge here, especially when you think you are. Yet when you surrender to walking this healing path, bathing in daily forgiveness, the ego has to give in and recognize that you're connected to an infinite, abundant, loving God source already. So the first step to healing you is recognizing where and when you initially created the wound. You don't have to know exactly the time, place, or date, just the general feeling will do. Yet you will want to take at least 2 to 3 hours alone to look deeply, deeply, deeply inside yourself, exploring where you're still holding on to past pain. During this time, start to own the fact that you created this pain and you are 100% responsible for its manifestation. Even though it may appear you're the victim in your personal circumstance, you go down that path. You don't go down that path. So even though it may appear you're the victim in your personal circumstance, don't go down that path. To fully heal, you must drop old disempowered beliefs. This means that you're accepted that it was a role you choose to play on stage at that time in your life. This enabled the wound and trauma to occur, and thus inadvertently later would empower you to play the opposing role of the healer who transcended it. The second step to healing you is sitting with your pain, relaxing into the very core trauma inside it. Let it have a voice. Your pain has a wonderful story to tell. Let it speak from the pain without buying into its victim game and story. Do this out loud and journal it if possible. To experience a full healing, you must go through hell to find heaven. You must sit still in the fire of that emotional pain. You keep having to be freed from it. Remember that this fire is a cleansing fire that burns away the ego that is ruining your life and creating all sorts of extra unnecessary suffering. Sit in the fire. Let your ego burn away into nothing. Release your identification with the angry victim held in those past memories. Those thoughts are only creating an emotional, daily turmoil inside that you cannot escape from. So decide to face it and meet this energy head on. You will feel so much better tomorrow, waking up naturally knowing you faced and embraced your greatest demon. As third step to healing you is creating a new healthy pattern and belief system that supports a more empowered way of living in this world. Your beliefs about life are very powerful and manifest into the thoughts you think and the words you speak. When you can understand, know, and believe that you are an extremely powerful being who can heal yourself simply by making the continuous choice to do so, the miracle of healing will happen. But there's a little twist. If you ever have a doubt, even the slightest of doubts, it will negate your power to heal yourself. Even a smidgen of a doubt. You are pure conscious awareness, which nothing can stick to. You are like super Teflon, which can transcend all suffering, letting it glide right off. Play with this empowered, enlightening state daily, and you'll accomplish the great feat of true inner peace. You won't ever think of complaining about anything or blaming others for your problems again. That action would just make the outer world more powerful than your inner world. Instead, you'll choose to abide in the knowingness that at your very core, you are the source of love itself. There is no energy more healing than love. Know this, and you'll stop being so harsh, sarcastic, and rushed about everything. You'll stop believing in the lie that you created and recognize how extremely sensitive, sacred, and lovable you truly actually are. Perhaps the greatest hidden issue to reveal on this journey is that your wound is your story. When you are so wrapped up in the habit of believing in your personal yet very validated victim story that you would rather hold on to it than forgive. Take this as the ultimate warning sign. And remember, it's extremely terrifying for the ego to let go of its story. It would rather die than retreat. Holding on to the past really means survival for the ego. Holding on to the past really means survival for the ego. Letting go means to stop playing a certifiable victim blame game and be big again. Letting go of the little wounded me means releasing all attachment to your ego's expectations, demands, and desires. You're instead choosing to come from a state of trust and surrender and sharing with others the unlimited, creative, loving nature you truly are. So we make those, it's part of our discovery of our inner world. Most of us, or if not all of us, are always visiting. Maybe once in a while we dip into our inside of who we are, what we are. And the majority of the time we spend most of our time outside of ourselves. I don't think any one of us are exempt from it for any length of period of time. But this, you begin to understand, is that there have been instances and situations amongst some of us where we have healed the most debilitating physical anomalies you could possibly imagine. And the only way that happened is to go within in peace and not have any doubt at all. The doubt is the ego and the mind. So when you ever have doubt about anything, that's the crack. That's where the water will break through and gush and flood everything. That's it. You may not know it, but you may, just even a spark of a doubt when you have intent about anything, it will undo you. That's why so many of us have this direction where we look at something or desire something or want something, whatever it may be. It could be emotional, it could be physical, material. But then there's that little tiny bit of doubt. It could be fleeting. It just kind of comes in real quick and then it's gone, and off and on. And that doubt's the ego trying to stay its ground and stay in control. Everything is possible, and that's very true. But when you stretch to a certain limit or level to yourself, then you have doubt. I can't tell you how many times I have seen people create something and others sit there and say, that's not possible. That can't be done. And they turn around and say, okay, so watch it. Watch me. Watch what happens. So it's interesting how some of us push against ourselves. In other words, other parts of us go with the flow. A lot of the things that will be introduced to this civilization are kind of like training wheels on if you ever had a bike, and you had training wheels because you didn't want to fall over because you just didn't have your balance or you're used to riding a bike. So the training wheels were good to have in the beginning, but they become very bad if you have them on too long. And so the ego plays this role constantly with us where it says, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's the doubt that will come in. It's not so much you hear something saying you can't do that. It's just the doubt and the fear that come rushing in. And that totally cold cocks you. It stops you dead in your tracks. And then you say to yourself, well, I knew that wasn't really possible, but I tried it anyway, but I just knew it wasn't going to work. And that's the ego. So this is all about mastering. And the first step is the most difficult step for mastering and healing and understanding oneself. And see, a lot of us have a tendency to be, it's really tough on us to let go. Let go. And that's why we talk so much, as we do in every meditation, about the past. Holding on to the past really means survival for the ego. That's why so many of us we'll go back decades about something in the past. You might be talking with someone and they don't have a clue because you're talking about something that only you, and they think it's been recent, and you don't tell them, well, that was 50, 60 years ago. And that's the ego. When you feel that you have to prove yourself, or you have to substantiate something, or you have to explain something, that's the ego. And I understand the ego isn't an enemy. It's just that we have ignored what its function is forever. And it's all connected. Healing oneself, you have that habit of the ego running the show. It's not like you say, oh, my ego's running the show. It just means that you're just not aware of just how much interplay the ego has in your life. But it's about identifying it and understanding how it operates. And you'll know immediately when the ego, eventually you'll know when the ego comes in. It'll stop you from healing yourself. It'll stop you from a lot of different things that you could do with ease without the ego's interruptions. So you begin to realize that the outer world you cannot allow the outer world to be more powerful than your inner world. You don't care to have that take place. You're the only one that can implement that or instigate it. Your inner world is where your attention is. If it isn't there, then you know how to shift it. Because most of us pay most of our attention to the outer world. And that's why the outer world has so much power with us. That's why it pushes. It isn't a negative. It's a learning process for all of us. That's why, and I know that most of us, if not all of us, understand to a certain extent or degree that we have this outer world that we feed and give it and give it and give it more and more and more and more attention, which gives it more and more and more and more power. And when we talk about outer world, we talk about all of the things that happen outside of ourselves. So it's a mindful from this perspective of being clear and consciously aware of these pieces that are disassembled. These are pieces of our outer world that actually is teaching us how to go within. And as we let go, and letting go means letting go of everything. You can't. Now, some people won't do it all at once. That's understandable. But you got to start somewhere. Or you'll stay connected to your past forever. And the ego will be in charge forever. And it's not just this lifetime. It can continue lifetime after lifetime. So there's always a learning process. But imagine, just for a moment, when you become just you become clearly conscious and aware of these pieces. The role of the ego, the role of the mind, both illusions, put there to teach us. The role of the outer world. What does the past mean? Why do I hang on to the past? Why do I refer back to it? Why do I visit it so much? It is the ego directing you to stay connected to the past so it can continue to rule. And remember, your beliefs about life are super powerful. Your beliefs about your life are super powerful. Think about that. And you can literally, and we do. We move energy into form and create it into reality. We manifest into the thoughts that we think and the words we speak. Everything we do, we're creating. There's no break there. Unless you step out of it all. Learn how to step out of it all. And watch it for a change. View it. And then you'll start to get a whole different perspective. What you believe is how you will live in this life. Not what anybody else believes, but what you believe is how you will live in this life. And when you can understand, know, and believe that you are extremely powerful being, then you'll get onto the track of understanding that you will say, the ego says, don't you dare, but you walk through the ego. And you will be able, at that point, which none of us are at yet, you'll be able to heal yourself. You'll heal yourself simply by making the continuous choice to do so. And as we call the miracle of healing, will happen. And it has happened to people on this planet. See? We all start somewhere. Doesn't mean that someone's ahead of you or better than you or anything. You decide for yourself where to begin. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. You adjust your belief system. The more you go inside, the more you will adjust your belief system. Your belief system will be within. It won't be on the outside world. It's just too much distraction on the outside world. That's why we give it so much attention. That's why it has so much power. We create more and more so anything. So if you look at your outside world, you will understand that you created your outside world. And then the ego will say, no, I didn't create that. Everybody else created that. I didn't have anything to do with it. That's just the way it is. But that's not true. You create, each of us, and from our own perspectives, because everybody's perspective is a little bit different. So we create that. But we're not consciously aware that that's what we're doing. Okay? So we literally feed the outside world, and it becomes the focal point of our existence. And it's just an illusion that we've created to entertain ourselves in this life. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our body. How many of us do you think actually do that on a daily basis? How many of us do you think where we relax our bodies? We're tense, we're stressed. Even if you don't think you're stressed, you're stressed. Because we carry things and we attract things and we manifest and create things 24/7. Imagine when you become fully consciously aware of that and how you'll be able to direct the traffic rather than be the traffic. So the body relaxes because you intend it to relax. You drop away and surrender anything that you have picked up or are carrying with you, which is worry, stress, and fear most of the time. To varying degrees. Sometimes we fear and we don't even know we're fearing. Sometimes we're worrying and we don't even know we're worrying. So it's kind of like you're off track, and all you got to do is put yourself on track with ease, without difficulty. So, the face, we flex our faces, we don't know it. And the face shows whether we're in stress or not. It shows a lot of things. Our shoulders, we bunch them a lot of the times, we don't know it. We stress a lot, we don't know it. So once you become consciously aware that you're doing these things with the body, then you'll be able to identify them and say, okay, that's not necessary. I don't need to do that. So drop my shoulders, drop the face, relax my body. Feel it relax. The more you practice that, the more you will be relaxed. Can you be relaxed through turmoil and all kinds of outer activity? Absolutely. That's when you go in the flow. That's when you're at ease. Things don't really bother you, so to speak, because you're more and more and more within yourself, and you're going with the flow. You're the spectator. You're not the participator. Oh, sure, at times you'll jump in and want to participate just for the experience, but you're the one to decide that. You're on the outside looking in. Say, you're watching the ego, you're watching the mind, and the body responds. This is all connected. So you relax your body from head to toe, inside and out. It's not difficult once you focus on it. And the body will respond. Thank you, appreciate it. So as the body eases and you just fold into yourself, move into the now. Why do we move into the now? Do you want to live your past, or do you want to live your future that doesn't exist forever? Well, a lot of people do that because they ignore the now. And the now actually is all we have. We create our futures in the now, moment to moment, the space between heartbeats. And what else does the now do? It eliminates the noise. The noise of our tens of thousands of thoughts that are just flooding in 24/7 for each of us. So by being in the now, you still the mind and the ego and the subconscious mind because you're only focused on that moment. As soon as that moment passes, you're into the next moment. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're only focused on that moment. It's very empowering. Now, some of us will go into the past. We all go into the past. We all reminisce. It's not like, just very few of us do. None of us are exempt from it. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's enjoyable, and you reminisce and go through things. But unfortunately for many, they stay there too long. And it doesn't have to be where they're When you can bring up your past over and over again in conversation, then you know you're stuck in the past. But when you can look forward and be understanding in the now, that in the now you're creating your future, and the past is long gone. Old, dead energy. It's gone. You've learned whatever you've learned, you've experienced whatever you've experienced, and you move forward. And people say, how can I know this? Well, you'll know it if you keep quoting people about events that happened decades ago. You'll know that you're stuck in the past. Even though you think you're in the now, you're stuck in the past. Because if you weren't stuck in the past, those would never be brought up. They're only for your experience. Others won't understand it. Only you do. And the ego plays a role there. Because if you feel like you have to express the past on multiple occasions, it means that the ego is in control. It's either to impress people, it's either to convince people of your knowledge, your knowing, whatever. Others of us will be seduced into a future that doesn't exist and wander into the future from the perspective of, when is this going to happen? When am I going to have this? And when am I going to have that? And what if this happens? And what if that happens? You see you see how we're thinned, we're stretched in a lot of directions because we're not consciously aware of what's going on. Some of us will be in the past so long that we will bring that past into a future that doesn't exist, create that past, that future from that past, and relive that past and that future. And that's why a lot of people are constantly wondering and asking themselves, why do I keep doing the same things? But they're different, but they always end up the same. Why is that? Because you're living in the past, and you think it's the now. And it's all dead energy. It's not even there. It's not existent. So focusing on the now is imperative for us in our journey with Him. Now, how do you stay in the now? Your breath. The breath is a lot more than just breathing. A lot more. It's divine positive energy because it literally sustains the vessel that holds the kingdom of God. It focuses you. It relaxes you. It centers. It eases. It empowers and strengthens. It does a lot of things. So whenever, because none of us, for example, we get these thoughts that quaff in and these kind of move us off and out in la-la land sometimes. And when we are consciously aware that that's happening, then we just say, I'll just focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. That's why you'll understand that people will get irritated with you because they'll ask you things about the future. What are you going to do where do you think you'll be in 5-10 years? What do you think? And you'll say to them, I'm not thinking about then, I'm thinking about now, right in this very moment. And it'll irritate people because they want you to be where they're at, wandering, generality in the future or the past. It has nothing to do with them, everything to do with you. So our breath is divine positive energy. It's sacred. And we relax the body. We're in the now, so we stilled the mind, the ego, and the subconscious mind. We view our bodies, and we see these vibrant 7 wheels of colored light. Each one is a flower. It's different shape. And each one in the center has a geometrical shape. So each one's a different flower. Each geometrical shape is different. And they run up the center, the very smack dab center of our bodies, right from the base of our spine to the top of our heads. These are chakras. These are energy vortexes. wheels of light. They're where our God Force love light energy flows. Our chi, our prana, our ki. They're very important, but many people just have no clue about that they're there or what they're about. So picture your divine positive energy, your breath, and merging it with your God Force love light energy. You can watch this through your heart, mind's motion picture. And as you watch it, as these two energies start to flow through these energy vortex, these chakras, we start with the red wheel of light, the root chakra, the Muladhara. This deals with our survival, and it is blocked by our fear. When we know these, what's blocking that? It becomes much clearer for us on how to navigate and shift. Then we move to the orange wheel of light. This is the sacral chakra, the Vadhisthana. And this deals with our pleasure, and it is blocked by our guilt. And then we move to the golden yellow wheel of light, the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura. And this deals with our willpower, and it is blocked by our shame. And then we move to the emerald green wheel of light, the heart chakra, the Anahata. This deals with our love, and it is blocked by our grief. And then we move to the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. This deals with our truth, and it is blocked by our lies. And then we move to the indigo wheel of light, the third eye chakra, the Ajna. This deals with our insight, and it is blocked by our illusion. Then we move to the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. This deals with our cosmic energy, and it is blocked by our ego attachment. So whenever, if you have an issue in any parts of those 7 center points of energy in your body, you should probably have a chart that depicts them. And you can, I guarantee you, every time, wherever you're having the issue, it is connected with that etheric energy point, that chakra. Something is blocking the flow, the natural flow of the God Force energy. Something is blocking it. Okay? Your willpower could be shame blocking it, could, guilt, fear, lies, illusion, ego attachment. But this is part of our inner journey on how we understand who and what we are. This is a crucial part of it. So we watch as we bring these energies to the top of our heads, the crown chakra. We hold it briefly. We are light, we are love, we are. And in that brief moment, we condense and compress these energies into pure liquid energy. Omnipotently powerful. And then we release them over our pineal gland. Pineal gland is very important to us. While we're in these bodies, it connects us to all the particles of existence. Pure consciousness, God Force, and beyond. Some of us see it differently than others, how we view it, what it looks like. You see through your heart, mind's motion picture. I see it as a green ball, rosebud. As soon as I pour this liquid energy over it, it immediately expands into a fully blossomed, bloomed rose. Massive, with multicolored petals, shimmering, sending out waves of energy. Beautiful fragrance, and it is the energy is so relaxing, so peaceful. There's no fear, there's no guilt, there's no doubt. You're completely removed from the ego mind and the subconscious mind, you are absolutely flowing with the cosmic energy that you're made of. And you can see, you can be part of anywhere you direct your soul, anywhere, you're connected, and you know it. And you can experience these connections one after the other as quickly as you would like, or as slowly as you would like. This is where conscious awareness takes center stage. We also are consciously aware that these bodies we're in, our heart minds, ego mind, subconscious mind, our soul, our higher self, our spirit, the God source, the pure consciousness, all one. And we're consciously aware that we are heaven on earth. This isn't ego. This is our heart mind. This is a knowing. We are heaven, literally, not figuratively, on this earth. And every step we take, we create paradise. Obviously, if you're not consciously aware of any of this, then you take everything for granted. So each step you take is just taken for granted. And we're learning to shine the light that we are within outward, to flood everybody, everything, all of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And eventually we'll do it automatically. Pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude, peace and tranquility and benevolence, bliss and joy, all of this is all of us. And we share it, we flood it, because we're all one. And this illusion of separation no longer cuts it. It's fading rapidly. So, and in view of this planet, as we progress and ascend ever so much more each and every single day, this planet will glow. All populated with gods, consciously aware that they are in a physical form. A God planet that glows. Makes a lot of sense. The entire civilization as one, working together in peace. We have, and remember, all consciously aware parts of us, we have them with us now, and remember that we learn and teach each other 24/7. We have the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, the archetypes. We have the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. Many, many, many more. Now, the archangels vibrate at a different frequency than we do. This is a different civilization, but part of the one. This is why we don't see them like we see each other. We meet with them in this life all the time. Just so we don't acknowledge it most of the time, but when it does dawn on us in that conversation, and then the conversation is over, interaction is over, and you go about your way, it dawns on you, that wasn't just a regular interaction, conversation. That was an angel. And just about all the time, in different ways, they have one message for all of us. How absolutely spectacular it is to be alive in these bodies. How absolutely wonderful it is to experience this life in this body. And then when you acknowledge that, a little bit of the bliss inside of you comes bubbling forth. Now, they can surround us all, in any one of us, in tens of thousands in number. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can house a large number in a small area. That's bliss, too. Then we have the ascended masters who have mastered ascension into physical form, out of physical form. And hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form, or mastering physical form. So we are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And along the way, we just may learn enough that we understand that we are the light, that you are the God force, love, light, energy. You don't need to follow a light. You are the light. Now, we will communicate directly with all the other facets and aspects of ourselves, such as the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this meditation, in this now, in the liberation of this planet and its civilizations in this meditation. Those parts of the one, the collective, the supreme consciousness, that are in lower existent frequencies cannot be awakened. Their frequencies are too low to interact with the other parts of the one. So they stay low. They can't be near higher frequencies. They cannot participate in this meditation. So they stay in the lower existence. So all these light energy beings come in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this universe. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from every direction. And they are with us now consciously. Call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All these civilizations. And only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation of forming this circle of light and the liberation of this planet. They come in the billions, and they're with us now, consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, all of the galactics and the celestials, uncountable numbers, throughout all universes, all existences. And again, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, and form this circle of light, the total liberation of this planet. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions travel throughout the universes every day. And they're all part of the one, part of the collective consciousness of all existence. Some sleep, some waking up, some awake. The ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Felines, the Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution. They've been assisting in our enlightenment. They've been assisting in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they come in uncountable numbers. And they are with us now, consciously. Call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, this meditation, forming the circle of light, the complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now, consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. We're only familiar with a handful of them. And they come in trillions in number, in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we've never seen before. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, wood, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur, many, many, many more. And they are with us now consciously. And we're all gathered consciously. And we're all aware that we are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. Arm in arm, hand in hand, all of our gods as one. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, abundance, prosperity, and we're all one, and we're all love, and we're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a massive circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, in this meditation. This light is who and what we are. The God force, love, light, energy. Pure consciousness. And we shine it outward. And this light is so bright, it grays out the darkness of sacred space. Take 1,000 billion suns in this solar system, even come close to its radiance. And we are flooding all life on this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it, with our God force, love, light, energy, flooding all of our brothers and sisters, head to toe, inside and out, with deep, pure, eternal love and gratitude. And feel this and see it through your heart minds. Because we're all being bathed in it, non-stop. You can see the frequencies as they continue to increase, as they can continue to ascend. Now we do start to levitate in this circle of light as it bathes and floods and saturates everything. and we come into contact with a massive ocean of glitter. These are trillions of little mirrors reflecting all of us gathered in this meditation, all parts of the one, reflecting each other. Trillions of vibrant colors. And we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. Then we're met with the violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column of light that reminds us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued eternally with the God Force Love Light Energy white fire armor. We are protected 24/7 always. No low dark matter, survival matter frequencies, demons, attachments, infiltrations of any lower dark matter, survival matter frequency can even come near us, ever. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through hatred, greed, envy, hurry, lust, you will create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so that you will allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, whether consciously or unconsciously, you're met with the purple transmuting flame. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, send in the pure consciousness, they are gone. Then we're met with the violet ray. This is calm light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can literally cleanse and purify this area where the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our harmony in the highest of the highest high of deep eternal love and gratitude. We're then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the sun, we are the sunlight, we are the rain and the rainbows, we are the trees and the forests, we are the oceans, rivers, the lakes, the streams, we are the clouds, the sky, we are the soil, the snow, the animals, the sun sets and the sun rises. We're everything. So the next time you see a beautiful sunrise or sunset or rainbow or snowfall or animals, and you are in just absolute awe of the beauty, you are in awe of the beauty that you are. We continue to ascend above this planet. As we do, some of us will step outside of our physical forms, if we're carrying them, and float effortlessly above them. We come in immediate contact with this massive crystalline light tower we created. It's larger than the solar system, so it's very easy for us to view it. In the center of the column is a golden white, yellow light flickering and flashing out, sending waves of golden mist, saturating and penetrating all of us in deep eternal love. The other bands of sparkling light doing the same thing, penetrating, saturating all of us, are those of gratitude, gentleness and kindness, generosity and humbleness, bliss, joy and peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, great wealth, great well-being. These are all reflections of us, of who and what we truly are. At the top of this tower, we created that so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees eternally. Pure, deep, eternal love, liquid love, saturating all of us, head to toe, inside and out, all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. And each of us are drops of that golden ocean, and we each carry its essence. The ocean is the drops are the ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere nearly 3 years ago. It holds well over 1,200 of our meditations in perpetual motion. The highest intent of all of us gathered throughout existence in this meditation, in this now. Every day. Flooding and saturating all of us with deep eternal love and gratitude everywhere. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. Feel and know that you, each of us, are the source of love itself. I'll join in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. When you turn within, you will become free and liberated, because it's all a dream. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we will be back here February 3rd, Wednesday, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call. And also tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for our Time for Change call.